So I've got this GE dishwasher. It's about 8 years old, so it's had a good run, but as of late, the end of the cycle, it's not draining. So when you're coming the dishes out, there's just a bunch of water in the bottom of the dishwasher. What do you think, Dougie? It's not good. Not good at all. So that's obviously not good, so we're going to see what we can do to troubleshoot and fix that. So we're going to first start with the easy stuff and check the air gap. So my dishwasher runs to an air gap, so I'm going to remove the air gap and check for any clogs. A lot of times the air gaps can get clogs of food particles and whatnot clogging up the drain line, so we'll see if that's our issue. If you start a cycle on your dishwasher and then press hold the start button for 3 seconds, it'll cancel the cycle. So we're doing that here to see how the drain pump's operating. If we look here at the air gap, it's actually pumping water, but it's a very low rate. So there must be some sort of a clog or some sort of issue with the drain pump. So the flow rate's really low. So this is the flow rate we're getting out of the dishwasher right now, which is obviously not good. As opposed to this is what the flow rate should look like. So we've obviously got some issues, and there's quite a few different things we can check. So we've looked at the air gap. We can also check out the check valve, the drain filter system, as well as the drain pump. I'll show you how to troubleshoot all those, and we'll figure out what's going wrong with my dishwasher. I went ahead and picked up several parts for this dishwasher because I wasn't sure exactly what was wrong, but I wanted to have all the parts available. I picked up a drain pump assembly along with a high drain loop, which contains the check valve for this model, as well as a drain hose extension. All of those are common issues with the dishwasher that's not draining, so I've went ahead and linked those below in the video description as well as the comments. We're going to start with the easy stuff first, so we'll open up the dishwasher, get this rack out of the way, and then start accessing the filter system so we can check the fine filter and the other parts of the filter system to see if there's potentially a clog that's limiting our flow for the drain pump. So we start by removing the fine filter and then the float, and then we'll go ahead and get this lower spray arm out of the way. So then there's 2 little screws holding down the coarse filter. We'll get it removed. And then the filter adapter. Still got a bunch of water in the bottom of our dishwasher, so we'll have to deal with that. If you still have some flow out of your dishwasher pump, you can go ahead and cancel a few cycles to evacuate the water. So if not, you're going to have to get a wet dry vac or shop vac or maybe a sponge to remove all the water from the sump in the bottom of the dishwasher. You can actually do it really quickly and easily with a sponge if that's all you've got. So taking a look at the filter here, there is a little bit of debris in here. It looks like some chia seeds from shakes, but it doesn't look like there's enough blockage here to actually reduce the flow rate of the pump the way that we're seeing in the dishwasher. So I don't think that the fine filter being clogged is our issue here. But the fine filter is definitely the first thing you want to check when your dishwasher is not draining or it's draining slowly. If that is your issue, you simply clean out the filter and then reinstall it. Once you have all the water removed, you can check the sump area of the dishwasher. For this particular model, the check valve is actually part of the high drain loop. But on some similar models, the check valve is going to be down here in the sump system. The check valve itself can get stuck and clogged, so that's something you definitely want to check to see if that's your issue. For this model, it's not down in the sump, and we'll have to check it later. We can further inspect the dishwasher sump area for clogs by removing the filter plate. There's 2 screws holding the filter plate down. Once removing those, you can inspect the bottom of the sump where it drains out to the drain pump. So we've removed these 2 screws and pull the plate up to inspect the area of the sump. To the right hand side of the sump, you'll see the turbidity sensor and the inlet which goes into our circulation pump. And then opposite that on the left hand side is the inlet to our drain pump. Both of those inlets look pretty clean in my dishwasher, so there doesn't appear to be any clogs in the sump area of the dishwasher. So it looks like we're going to have to pull the dishwasher to figure out what's going on with the drain pump. First, we're going to shut off the water. Then we're going to cut power to the dishwasher. It's always a good idea to then confirm that the power is actually cut off. Next, we're going to remove the toe kick plate with the 2 screws down below at the bottom of the dishwasher. With the kick plate removed, you can see the water supply on the left and then the power supply on the right. Here is the troubleshooting manual for this dishwasher. We're going to pull that out and use it here in a second. So now that our water's shut off, we'll simply disconnect the supply line to our dishwasher by unscrewing the fill hose. And then we need to remove the power supply box cover. Remove the screw for the power box cover. Pull out the wires. Then we'll disconnect the twist ties for our power supply. With our power and water disconnected, we're almost ready to pull out the dishwasher. Then we just need to adjust the feet and remove the countertop screws to get our dishwasher out. A really good tip for doing this is to grab yourself some PB Blaster or liquid wrench or another penetrating oil and give your feet a quick spray as well as the screws. A lot of times you haven't adjusted those in a long time, and giving it a quick shot of penetrating oil really helps loosen those up, so it makes it easy for you. After raising our feet and removing our countertop screws, we're ready to pull the dishwasher out. After we pull out the dishwasher, you want to pull out any slack you have in your drain line and then tilt the dishwasher over to the side to access the drain pump area. So here's the drain pump for our dishwasher. So water collects in the sump and then is pulled out of the dishwasher with the drain pump. Immediately after the drain pump, where the high drain loop connects, there's a check valve right here. So this check valve prevents water from backflowing into your dishwasher. So if your sink overflows or your disposal overflows, that dirty water doesn't get back into your dishwasher. So from the check valve, the water moves up the high drain loop and then out to the hose extension. And the hose extension runs to the air gap with this install. You can potentially have clogs in the drain pump itself, in the check valve, high drain loop, or in the drain line. So we need to check all of these. If you don't have an air gap and your dishwasher runs directly into the disposal, the line where it connects to the disposal is another great place to look for clogs. We're going to start by disconnecting the drain hose extension. You want to be ready for water here because your drain line's likely still full with water. I'm using a bucket to just drain the drain lines into it. Then we're going to disconnect the check valve and the high drain loop from our drain pump. Once it's disconnected, we can then test both the drain extension as well as the high drain loop and check valve. So again, this check valve is a one-way valve. It allows water to flow out of the drain pump and into the drain line, but it does not allow water to flow back through into the drain pump and into the dishwasher. You can test this by blowing into the end that connects to the drain pump. When you blow out through the check valve and the high drain loop, you can expect to hear air flow through the pipe. When you blow the other way, air does not flow. In my case, the high drain loop and the check valve tested okay, so that doesn't appear to be our problem. Next, we're going to test the drain hose extension. You can do this by blowing through the drain hose or running water through it. I tested mine by running water through the air gap and then out the drain hose into a bucket. In my case, the drain hose extension did not appear to be the problem, as water flowed freely through the drain hose extension. So now we're going to move on to testing the drain pump. First, we're going to disconnect the wire harness from the pump, and then we're going to test the resistance of the drain pump motor. If you take a look at that troubleshooting guide, we can see on the diagram that the resistance of the drain pump should be 26 ohms. Using our multimeter, we see that the resistance of the drain pump motor is 25.4 ohms, so it appears to be within spec. So the drain pump motor is in good shape, but it still isn't pumping water, so we got to inspect the drain pump itself. Next, we're going to remove the drain pump from the little hanger here, and then remove the 3 screws from the drain pump assembly to take a look inside the pump. After pulling apart the drain pump assembly, the impeller looks free and there's no apparent clogs within the drain pump. The sump of the pump assembly looks good as well. There's obviously not an obstruction that's preventing the pump from pumping water. When running the dishwasher, I've noticed that the drain pump does not pump well at all when it's heated up. There's actually no flow at all coming out when the dishwasher and drain pump are at operating temperatures. But when allowing it to cool down, it does actually pump a little bit of water. I believe what's actually happening is the impeller is slipping on the motor shaft. So when the drain pump motor spins, the impeller is slipping and it's not allowing it to pump water. So we're going to go ahead and replace this drain pump. So new pump's going to install right here where the old pump is, but first we need to remove the one-time use hose clamp that's used when the drain pump is first assembled. So grab this with a pair of pliers and pull this off. We'll use the new hose clamp supplied with our drain pump assembly replacement part. We install the new pump along with the new hose clamp and tighten it down. Then we can hang the pump on the little hanger, then reinstall our high drain loop and check valve and tighten it down. The new drain pump has an inline adapter harness, so we're going to install the new harness, wrap the wires up, and then zip tie them securely. Now that our new pump is installed and connected to both the sump and the high drain loop, all we need to do is reconnect our drain hose extension. We're going to tilt the dishwasher back up, install our little blanket, and then push it back into place. Next, we're going to reconnect our water and power connections. After our water and power are connected, then we need to reinstall our filters on the inside of the dishwasher. We've reinstalled the filter plate by screwing it down, then the filter adapter and coarse filter, float, fine filter, followed by our lower spray arm. Now we can turn our hot water supply back on and then go ahead and check for leaks.
No leaks. No leaks.
Once we've confirmed there's no leaks, it's time to power back on the dishwasher. With water and power now supplied, we'll go ahead and start a test cycle. After starting the cycle, it's a good idea to go ahead and check for leaks again once water's flowing. And I've confirmed here that there's no leaks. After the dishwasher fills, we're going to press and hold start again for 3 seconds to cancel the cycle to trigger a drain pump. Now for the moment of truth. It's a beautiful sight, Jack. Look how much water's coming out now. Beautiful sight. We're in business. Success. The drain pump was our issue. So I ended up ordering a few parts that I ultimately didn't need, which of course I'm going to return, but again, when I set out with this project, I didn't know what the issue was going to be. You can very easily have a clog in your high drain loop and that check valve assembly, or in the drain line extension. For me, it ended up being the drain pump, so I went ahead and purchased all 3 of those. Again, I'll put the links to these parts in the video description below for your convenience. I hope this video helps you diagnose your dishwasher not draining problem. If so, be sure to give the video a thumbs up down below and consider subscribing to my channel.